Good afternoon. Every year we set a goal, all right, and obviously we set it as a team. The number one objective is to do what? Is to win the AFC West. All right, the next objective is to establish home field advantage. All right, last objective is to go out and win the Super Bowl. Now, we're in that playoff season time. Our guys have an understanding that every day, every moment matters, okay? One thing I think we do a great job of, and Coach Reed sets the tempo with this, and we talk about this each and every year, we have to create an energy. As a coaching staff, we got to bring in that energy to provide juice to our players about what we're pursuing. The next thing, we eliminate the distractions, okay? We want to keep all the stuff out of our way, keeping it out of these walls and making sure that we're focused on what needs to get done. We fear absolutely nothing. It's all about embracing the challenge, okay? And then we attack everything. You got to have a plan. You got to execute your plan, and you got to go out and make it happen. With that said, I'm all ears.
I wonder if you could take us back to when you guys played Jacksonville earlier this year. Kind of maybe a low point for them after they left here. They had their bye week. They got really hot after that. When you're looking at them on tape this last month or so, how do they look different than what you saw that day?
You know, I don't think they look any different. I'll say this. We knew going into that game that they were a very talented team. I got a lot of good friends on that staff, and they do a great job. The thing that I'm seeing now is that those guys, they're embracing the process, right? They're starting to trust exactly what their coaches have provided for them. That's a very talented team. Those guys, they play hard, they play fast, they play physical, they're aggressive, and then on top of that, they have belief in what they're doing. You just don't come back and win the game down 27-0 and find a way to win. So our job is to make sure that we're taking care of our business. If we're taking care of our business, we'll give ourselves a chance. But this is a great team and a great opponent that we will be playing against.
Coach, we've talked before about Andy and you and how you guys make the opening script. How much of an advantage is it for the other side to know exactly how that process works?
You know what? I think there's a little game of chess and cat and mouse that goes on with that. And, I mean, you think about it. Doug kind of one-upped us and got the onside kick in the first game. So there's always a little game of that. But the thing is, we just got to make sure that we stay in tune to what needs to be done from our perspective. We know exactly what they're going to do, and obviously they'll have a wrinkle or two. Mike Caldwell, who's a former teammate of mine, he's a brilliant mind, an outstanding coach, and he's done a great job. He's doing a great job of putting those guys in positions to make plays, and they're doing a hell of a job. So at the end of the day, it's not necessarily about what they do. It's about what we do as an offense and making sure that we can go out and execute our plan.
Eric, do you feel like you guys have more to present than the opposition from an offensive line standpoint, given that this is the second time that this group is going to go through the postseason together, or at least start a postseason together? Do you feel like there are more things, I guess, available to the offense because the offensive line has just had more games together?
You know what? That's kind of a tricky question. I'll say this. We always want to do what our guys can do. Our offensive line, in my opinion, they played a damn good game against the Raiders. They're doing an outstanding job, but I don't want to take away any success that defensive line has earned. Last week, I thought those guys, in my opinion, they won that game. You know, that defensive front took over, and they did an outstanding job in the second half of that football game. Obviously, I thought they did a heck of a job in the first half, but they did an outstanding job in the second half. Our guys just got to go out there and be who they are. We got to remain poised. We got to play it one play at a time and do what we're expected to do. So we don't need to change anything. We just need to go out there and be ourselves and have fun doing it.
There's so much of a discussion, Eric, about getting the quarterback in rhythm as quickly as you can in a game. Obviously, one of this magnitude, but obviously, Pat's been through this before. But you have guys like Kadarius, Isaiah, MVS, Juju. They haven't obviously played in the postseason game in this offense. Has there been a discussion this week about trying to get those other guys in rhythm as quickly as you can, considering obviously how talented your quarterback is?
There's always a discussion about getting those guys going and getting them all in rhythm. But the thing is also, too, we have great leadership. And obviously it starts at the top with our head man. But on top of that, we got some players who have been there and done that. So, yes, we do want to get Pat in rhythm. But one thing, Pat will tell you, he wants to get the O-line in rhythm. Trav will tell you, hell, he wants to get those younger guys in rhythm. So we're relying upon our leadership and getting those guys basically to go out there and relax, remain poised under pressure, and let's just go out there and be ourselves, play hard, be accountable to one another by playing hard and going out and just being who we are as a team. Is that the alert? Oh, that's an Amber Alert.
Coach, McCole looks like he's probably maybe not going to be available again. I guess the coach said he had like a setback a little bit, going to come back. What's the frustration level or just the difficulty that it's been for the last couple of months of trying to work him back into it and having the setbacks? And what are you missing if you don't have him?
Well, first and foremost, our training room is doing an outstanding job with him. The thing I don't want to do, I don't want to comment on anything because obviously if he's not available, he's not available. So I want the training staff to take care of that. But the kid is a tremendous, talented kid, and he brings a lot to the table. But just like we do with all of our other players, it's our job as coaches to make sure that we're getting the other guys ready to step up and play big in those particular roles. Coach Joe has done a heck of a job with the guys that he has. KT has done a heck of a job. Sky Moore has done a heck of a job. I mean, hell, Juju, Quez, J. Watt, you know, the tight ends are stepping up, and our backs are doing a great job. So those guys understand that, hey, when someone's not available, it's all of our chances and all of our opportunities we got to make the most of, meaning we got to go out there and provide some big play material by making something happen with those particular players.
I know you said you want to eliminate distractions.
Mm-hmm.
At this time of year, you always get asked about jobs, and we know that you're concentrating on this right now, but you did have an interview last week with the Colts. They tweeted that out. Did the process feel different for you this year than it has in the past? Because I know they had the deal where you got to meet with ownership last year in the offseason. Did it feel any different, any better than it has in past years?
Well, I'll just say this. It's always good to be recognized and always great to have that opportunity. But right now, you know, it's game time. So we'll worry about that when it's time to take care of that. But, yes, it's always good to be recognized for that. And, yes, do I believe that I'm qualified? Yes, I do. But that's not the issue right now. The issue is making sure that we're taking care of business, that I'm doing my part and being accountable to those guys who's counting on me to be available and be at my best when my best is needed.
Eric, you said the training staff's doing a great job with Cole Harbin, so something else went wrong. Was he not honest with where he was at? Did he try to do too much too early? And obviously the process, they did a great job, then the process is broken down somewhere trying to get him back. Because I don't think you get him out there practicing him, and Andy even said, boy, he thought this was gonna be the week, and now there's a setback. What, you know, is there a lesson to be learned, like, hey, don't go so fast, young man, or don't do too much, or, you know, what went wrong?
There's always a lesson to be learned, but, I mean, that's something that's not my world. I'm not going to comment on that.
Well, I mean, if he's doing too much, it is in your world, because you run the practice, so it can be in your world.
Well, I'm going to say this one more time. It's not in my world because it's a training room deal, whereas we're counting on our players and we don't discuss injuries. So that's where our policy steps in, okay? And not trying to be an asshole. I'm just trying to walk a fine line, okay? And I understand, all right? But I'm going to let that process take care of itself. You always want a kid to be at his best. Obviously, if that's not the case, then we continue. So I'll allow the people that needs to take care of that, they'll take care of that. Other than that, our job is to making sure is that the guys who are getting ready to play, we're ready to play, and we're expected to be at our best.
Eric, with Travis Kelce, last 6 games, I believe, without a touchdown. What are you seeing the defenses play them a little differently? And, you know, with so much postseason success that he's had, how do you feel he flips the switch in the postseason?
Well, you got to understand, Travis had an outstanding career for a number of years. And obviously, he's one of Pat's top targets. Teams are always going to try and find a way to scheme it up where they can take him away. The only thing that does, and I think Pat has done a great job with this, is making sure that he can find the other guys who are available, who are open, who's not being doubled. But on top of that, Kels, you know, he's a little slick. He understands the game. I'm pretty sure he'll have a few wrinkles up his sleeve, and we'll find a way to do something to make sure that he can have the success that's going to help us when it's all said and done with. Yes, sir.
A parent, you guys are incredibly high on Kadarius. this. What tells you, what shows you that he may have the ceiling of potential being a number one wideout for a team in this league?
Well, KT, first of all, he's a tremendous athletic kid. He works at it. He has fun. He's very, very intelligent. Every time he's out there, he's looking to make something happen. All right. On top of that, he loves the game. You can tell by his intensity in the classroom, and then just the feedback that you get from him. Okay. So the kid is a very smart, intelligent. He loves the game, and I think just being in a new environment has uplifted him, and is raising his game to another level. So we're enjoying him. We're enjoying the process. He's enjoying the process. And the fun part is watching all those guys interact. The chemistry has been outstanding.
Eric,
Okay.
how do you see that? You say you feel like he's been energized by coming here. What leads you to say that?
Well, he's smiling. He's happy. He's enthused. You see it. Just his body language, stepping into the building every single day. And that's what we talk about, creating that energy, All right. Thank you, guys.